Alright, I have got two absolutely crazy stories for you today. I don't even think you're going to believe how crazy the first one is. I hope you're sitting down for this one. Because what the United Nations, the UN, has just passed, which affects all of us, is going to have some pretty dire consequences. But before we get into all of that, happy Thanksgiving to all of my American subscribers. I am so grateful for all of you, so thank you so much. And if I wasn't already doing a Black Friday deal this week on my courses, then I would do that for you. So make sure to grab that deal if you haven't already got it. The coupons are flying out, or over 60% of the coupons have got, in fact, almost 65% have now gone. So make sure to grab your course. And here's what Alex said about the course, who bought it last year. He bought the stock market course last year.
I just very quick wanted to share with you my thoughts about Neil's stock market course. I've been myself a student for over a year now, and I can't recommend this course enough. It is, on one hand, a perfect course if you're a complete beginner and just starting out in the stock market. And you will get a pretty good overview because Neil is pretty good in explaining certain terms, certain strategies he's using. You can also see this in his YouTube videos. He's pretty precise with his explanations. But also, if you're a little more advanced, if you had some experience in the past, you will benefit from his online course. So this course is definitely a recommendation from my side. If you like Neil's YouTube channel, for example, then you know how he explains things, you know his thoughts on certain things, and this is why I also decided to buy this course.
Alright, so let's get started then with what the UN just passed. And yes, I am using the word passed because this has sent a massive shock. It's actually sent really big shockwaves and ripples right throughout the political world because no one really thought this was going to pass. In fact, the USA, the European Union, and the UK blocked this so heavily. But at the same time, I would say they didn't really take it seriously. I don't think they thought that this was actually going to pass because the bill is so insane that it's just ridiculous. This is for a global tax treaty. Yes, you heard this right, a global tax treaty which will be monitored by the UN, the United Nations. They are going to be the ones that create it. I've got to read out the proposals and you can actually find all of these documents for yourself. They are all on the website. I was reading through them and I was honestly so shocked when I read some of these things on global taxes. Yes, global taxes. A lot of people are making this mistake at the moment of thinking this is just for corporations. It's not. Read the legislation. The door is wide open. They don't specify this is for corporations. This is somehow what everyone seems to think it's about, but it's not. It will be used for other things later. So let me read their official statement out. The UN recognizes the need for better global cooperation on tax matters. This is important for several reasons, such as supporting development, fighting illegal financial activities. Well, I'm going to call BS on that straight away because they need to enact global taxes in order to fight illegal financial activities. I think we know what that is. It's their taxes in the first place. That is the illegal financial activities. How can an unelected body like the UN pass global taxes? That is the illegal and illicit activities, if you ask me. They then go on to say, ensuring fair tax practices, especially in poorer and vulnerable countries. What a load of nonsense. They are just tightening the grip yet again. The UN has previously agreed on several resolutions and agendas focusing on tax cooperation and sustainable development. We know where this is going. This resolution builds on those past commitments. Without sustainable development goals being met, the earth, blah, 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 blah. We've heard all this one before. This is all just a big scam to steal freedoms and now taxes. Some of the other reasons they're giving then is tax evasion, aggressive tax avoidance, and illicit financial flows such as cryptocurrencies. Oh yes, these are the biggest problems. Cryptocurrencies, I'm sure they are. They go on to say then, they hurt trust, legal integrity and sustainable development, and often affect the poorest communities the most. The world is ready for a more equitable future where there's no dividing line between rich and poor. You know, the thing is, we've heard all this before. Socialism, communism, where everyone has the same amount of money, there's no rich, there's no poor. It's been tried over and over and over again, and it just doesn't work. You know, you can't take a person, let's say, who grew up in rural Laos, rural Myanmar, who earns $2 a day, and compare that to someone who lives in London or New York and went to the best university in the world and is from an extremely wealthy family or something like that. I'm not saying one is right and one's wrong. I'm saying this is the world that we live in. You can't just take these people and try to force them to be the same in the period that they're talking about. This is just not going to happen. Yes, I 100% think we should work towards a fairer world. I really do. I don't like the way the world is. I think globalization has helped with a lot of things, but it's also done some terrible things to enslave people around the world. I really do think that. But is there something much better right now than a free market economy? If there is, let me know in the comments below. Now let me carry on with this draft because this is so crazy. The draft focuses on creating a framework convention for international tax cooperation. It outlines the formation of a specific committee with 20 members for drafting this convention, and they want to focus on balance, geographical and gender representation. The revised draft sets a deadline, this is interesting, of August 2024. So I think we know then when this is going to begin. You have got you've got less than 1 year before all of this is supposed to come into effect. But it doesn't just call for the interaction of taxes, no. They said that it's far-reaching. Whenever you hear that word, far-reaching, start to pay attention. They say that it's going to involve other policy areas, like social and environmental issues within each country. They then say that we all must be ready for a new, equitable world. A few of the points then that I thought were quite weird in this doctrine was the OECD framework on base erosion and profit sharing. That's one other thing that they mention. They also want to recall the work of the platform for collaboration on tax, saying it's not fit for purpose. This was previously between the United Nations, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank, as well as the OECD. They're saying that this is just not fit for purpose and they need this new framework, which is based on the Agenda 2030 sustainability goals. They also call on member nations to not try to block this modern international tax system. And they recognize that this will accelerate the implementation of the Addis Ababa Action Agenda on Financing for Development and the 2030 Agenda. It says it here in black and white that this is going to accelerate the 2030 Agenda. They say the committee will be the most diverse committee available, including members from different regions and ensuring gender equality. It will meet in New York for sessions, each lasting up to 15 working days, with a goal to complete its task by August of 2024. And who these people are, we have absolutely no idea and no say in it. The UN General Assembly voted overwhelmingly in favour of developing this global tax framework with a vote count of 125 for and only 48 against. It claims that members are furious with Nigeria, who was the key country who established this framework, and it goes on to talk about how some of the wealthiest countries didn't take Nigeria seriously or think that they could get this pushed through. How shocked they now are. They then say that this is a sense of urgency. We don't have much time left. What do you think they mean by that? Drop it in the comments below. Now, I want to go on to the second crazy story then that's just come out. And I've even got more wild stories for you, but there's just too many for one day. So I'll begin the walk and talk tomorrow with another crazy story. But this one's on the Dutch election. So remember, it was only yesterday and the day before that I was talking about how we're seeing this massive shift, how some of the crazy doctrine that we've seen in recent years is on the retreat quite heavily. But I said that this isn't always a good thing because we want to have more of a balanced political view. That's what we really need. We need different perspectives from both sides. So what just happened yesterday in the Netherlands, I swear my crystal ball has been on fire recently, was we just had a new election, and his name is Geert Wilders, something like that, from the Freedom Party. And he's set to win 37 seats in the Dutch general election, leading the race by significant margin. And it says here the victory is expected to send ripple waves right across Europe. The BBC calls him an extreme right-wing dangerous leader. So that probably means that he's quite conservative then. The BBC goes on to say, his success reflects a growing trend in Europe where nationalist and far-right parties are gaining ground. His victory in particular is notable in the context of the Netherlands being one of the founding members of what became the European Union. Yeah, okay, maybe there's a few other things at play here. What did we cover last year about the Netherlands? They were being absolutely quashed in their personal freedoms. Look what happened to the farmers. Look at what the proposals that were forced upon them. 90% reduction in their livestock for some of the farmers. Forcing a lot of them compulsory purchase orders off their own land that they have farmed for multiple generations. And then you have media outlets like the BBC that say, oh, it's because of, he's just a right-wing extremist and, we've got all these racists in the country and whatever else they say. No, people are fed up, and this is the pendulum swing that I talked about. I just didn't expect it to happen this quickly with yet another leader, but I think we're going to see more and more of this. And we remember what happened about 90 years ago in Europe when this swing happened quite aggressively last time. So Mark Rutte is on his way out. Good riddance. He was the one that really pushed all of this and set the police onto the farmers when they were protesting in the first place. But some of this guy's campaign promises are, drop in the comments what you think, but they are being classed as extreme. He's holding a referendum on leaving the EU, and he wants to halt the acceptance of asylum seekers, enforce strict border controls against migrants, and basically close off the borders. He also wants to stop EU payments as well as sending arms and weapons to Ukraine. So we are seeing a massive shift at the moment. I think some of these things are positive. Some of them I've got a few concerns around. I think we're going to have to monitor this and see how it goes. But happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. I love you guys. God bless you all. And make sure for everyone watching, you grab that coupon code for your 90% off any of my courses. There's only a few days left and there aren't many coupon codes left. I don't think we're going to last a week at this rate. Thanks a lot. Take care. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow for the walk and talk. We're going to walk around this area. It's going to be beautiful. You'll find out where I am. See you then.